السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد, dear friends, now we are discussing about disciplines of social science. Now we have discussed about history and anthropology. Now we are going through psychology. Uh, I I guess that almost of you will be very eager to know about what is psychology, what is concepts, what is mean by it, what is its history. So without many explanation, without rather explanation, we can let us go to our video. So what is definition of psychology? Psychology is the study of mind and behavior. This is the simple definition of psychology. It means that in psychology we will study about mind and our behavior. And in psychology we discuss about certain relations of human behavior with mind. And a psychologist will heal mental ill. He does not heal physical ill. He does not cure or he does not heal any physical ill, but what he cure and heal is mental ills, mental diseases through behavioral change. This is the definition and concept of psychology. First we have to understand this well. And branches of psychology: clinical psychology, cognitive psychology, developmental psychology, evolutionary psychology. And first we have to discuss about each of one. Clinical psychology means it will be related to patients, that means it will be related to healing and curing patients. This is the type of psychology coming in clinical psychology. And next one is cognitive psychology. It means it is really related to language, numbers, study. That means how to increase our memory power, how to calculate numbers and remember numbers, different ordered numbers simply, and like things are discussed in this cognitive psychology. And developmental psychology, uh, there is a vast concept on developmental psychology, because we discuss in developmental psychology about the entire aspects of human lifespan. There is This is a vast concept. It will become in developmental psychology. And evolutionary psychology means it will be related to evolution, what are the changes that has come to human beings as a part of their evolution. These are discussed in evolutionary psychology. And what psychological moments have happened in evolutions, such like things are discussed. Then for and after that, forensic psychology. It means that the psychology which is needed to question criminals. And such psychology is called forensic psychology. And next is health psychology. Simply it is related to medicine, study about what are the psychological causes that will cause to make that will make a ill or disease in human body. What are the psychological movements, psychological changes that disease can make in human body. These are the topics discussed in health psychology. Then neuropsychology, we will discuss about in neuropsychology about brain, about how brain is connected to human behavior, and what is the role of brain in human behavior and his characteristics, such like things. Then occupational psychology, this it means to find reports and mental developments of employee. This is mainly this is used in institutions like schools and hospitals. It will be very useful to develop to men it will very useful the development and mental development of its employees to a very well going business. And social psychology, it means about what social society makes and makes on one's made. What societies what impact society make on one person's mind. This is discussed social psychology, and environmental psychology means that simply it is connected to environmental that means the more connection will be to environmental, and how environment impact on one's mind and one's behavior, how it can change his psychological movements. Like things are discussed here. Now we have to discuss about the history of psychology briefly. Philosophy of psychology was also seen in earliest Greek and Indian civilization. So we understand from this that psychology is not a science which is formed, it has formed recently, but this is a science which was formed even in earliest Greek and Indian civilization. So this has very past age from its growth to now yet. And Plato said about psychology, brain is where mental process take place. And in 3035, Aristotle also said that mind is in head. So here, um, in Plato's opinion, my brain is not in our head, but it is a imaginary place where mental process take place. But according to Aristotle, mind is in head. And Ibn Sina also have many contributions to psychology, and especially in he has many studies about nightmares and such like things. And in 1774, Franz Mesmer found that hypnosis will help to cure mental illness. This was a major change that happened to uh, history of psychology. In 1879, Wilhelm Wundt from Germany discovered that psychology as an independent experimental field of study, and he considered that he is also considered as father of father of psychology. American philosopher William James had published a book, Principle of Psychology. This is major books in psychology, very important book in psychology. And one of the concepts here in psychology is physical events happening in life is a result of what going on mind. It means that when a dog feels hungry, it will move its tongue forward and will run fastly. As like this, all in our in our man humans case, this theory is applicable. That means our physical events, physical occurrence, physical happenings, or physical interactions are happening in our life as a result of our what is going on our mind. And there's a concept of conditioning concept, which just means that all psychological views are conditional in nature. For example, if a dog feel hungry, that this is the example we have referred before. If a dog feel hungry, it will move into its tongue into forward. As in this concept, Sigmund Freud has concerned about his this concept more, and his major contribution on this. And he also said that dreams are what we decide to happen in real. This is the concept of conditioning concept. And another concept is behaviorism is an approach to psychology and learning what emphasizes observable measurable behavior. It means that in behaviorism, we will it is the theory of learning through interaction with environment, and empirically, it is really empirically and through a process called conditioning. This is meant by behaviorism. Then second last one is behavior humanism. It means that this concept conveys the idea that major importance in psychology to each individual, not based by other organization, religion, such like things. Here the issue is the concept, and the main core point is the each individual is personality, and the researchers and satellite researchers and studies are on on each individuals from society. And the last and final theory and concept that will coming under psychology is cognitive theory. Cognitive theory is an approach to psychology that attempts to explain human behavior by understanding your thought process. Simply, we can say that in this psychology, it is an approach to psychology. It is an approach psychology that will attempt to explain human behavior, understanding his thoughts. Here, thoughts are major, very important. One can only explain human behavior, understanding his thoughts. According to this, we will collect information and produce data, relating it with those knowledge we already know. Which means that for producing a data or knowledge, we want first to collect some basic information and connect it with already with knowledge that we already know in our mind. Thus we produce a new data. This is cognitive theory. So here we have discussed about major theories, major concepts of psychology. So we can conclude our topic here. جزاكم الله خير الجزاء. واخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.